true. She was kidnapped from Japan, put in a bag, put in a small motorboat. The motorboat went out to another boat, and she was carried from there to DPRK. Her and Jenkins, they got along good. Hagen was a kind of woman that could adapt herself. Her biggest problem was her husband got old and she wasn't satisfied. And he's too stupid to know it, but nobody ever told him. I think you know what I mean. One night we were dancing. Jenkins, he seen me run my fingers into her pants. And from then on, we were, you had to look out. Only my fingers about that far down. Till that time, she'd come to our house and visit, and we'd talk, and we'd drink coffee and play cards, listen to music, drink wine. But after that, no.
24 years after her abduction, Jenkins' wife was allowed to return to Japan. She refused to go back to North Korea. It transpired that she had been kidnapped in a bizarre plot to have North Korean spies trained in Japanese language and customs. As a deserter from the U.S. Army, Jenkins faced extradition and prosecution if he ever set foot in Japan. He remained in Pyongyang with their daughters.
He only had one thing in his mind. I've got to get there. How am I going to get there?
The family separation became a major political issue in Japan. During this time, Dresnok introduced Jenkins to our film crew.
This is my friend, Charles Robert Jenkins. I've known him for a very long time.
This is my friend, James Joseph Dresnok, and I've known him for 39 years.
This was Jenkins' first contact with Westerners since his defection in 1965. He had no idea when or even if he would see his wife again. The North Korean authorities considered this initial meeting too sensitive to be filmed, but he was also keen to tell his story.
Well, if it don't work out good, I am going to put this in newspapers all over the world. I'm happy the way I am retired. 60 years old, have a big party, hung out, and I finished. But what's
By the
good,
way,
in North Korea, they didn't even cut my money. And they give me more rations. It's true.
Really?
Privately, the Americans admitted they were not close friends.
I don't like him when he's drinking. He gets his mouth running and never stops. He sits there and he dreams up things about the government. At first I say, yay. Not to say I agree with you. He told it to our guide. He said, Dresnok has the same opinion I have. I told him, what? And they believed him because he was so sincere in everything. He tried to shoot us down, make us look low, and build himself up. The old American saying is, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me.
The governments of Japan and North Korea finally agreed for the Jenkins family to meet in Indonesia, which had no extradition treaty with the United States. They had been separated for 2 years.
He was already told, if he stays in Korea, he stays in Korea. If he goes to Japan, he goes to Japan. The Korean government doesn't care. When he went to Indonesia, he promised the Korean government that he was going to return. Got there, stayed with her a few days, and he's going to Japan.
Upon his arrival in Tokyo, Jenkins was immediately hospitalized, and Japanese public sympathy grew. Japanese Prime Minister Koizumi personally urged President Bush to be lenient on Jenkins. But with U.S. soldiers serving and dying in Iraq and Afghanistan, leniency for a deserter was considered unlikely.
Bye-bye, baby. Who cares?
Before turning himself in, Jenkins played his final card. an exclusive interview with an American journalist.
The motivation for doing an interview was to say, here's what my life was like in North Korea. He wanted them to be lenient on him in a criminal case.
Dresnok was interviewed 1 week after the article was published and had no idea of its content.
Tell me exactly what the news is. If he makes allegations against me that aren't true, then I must condemn him. This is beyond belief. No, I believe. I believe he would say and act like this.
When he would do something that the North Korean government would not like, he said Dresnok would beat him. He's big, he's a beater. He likes to beat people.
Who here could dream of possibly tying up a man and beating him? I can count every fight on one hand. Huh?
Charles described this as more than 30 times over the course of those years.
He's alive. He's trying to save his ass. I hope he gets as much time in prison as he claims I beat his ass.
He had a tattoo on his arm of 2 crossed rifles with the words U.S. Army below it, and he said that the North Koreans cut the U.S. Army out of his arm without anesthesia.
Ain't nobody do nothing by force.
The North Koreans had allegedly held European and Middle Eastern people against their will, and those people had had children, and those children were going to be used in North Korea's spy program.
No. Breed spies? No, this is ridiculous, quite ridiculous. Do you think the Korean government would make our children spies?
We can speculate having agents that don't look Korean but have allegiance to the regime would be of value.
I'm truly sorry my friends who have passed away are not here to see this. He surrendered to the Korean People's Army. Now he's surrendering back to the Americans. I don't have intentions of leaving. Don't give a shit if you put $1 billion of gold on the table. I'd like to kill a son of a bitch.
The young lady's not so good. I was rather good. Not very good, but rather good. But now, my legs ache so much. The older you get, the more you think about your home place and your childhood. But you see, my childhood wasn't very pleasant. I never went to a movie. I never went bowling, but now I enjoy my weekends and my holidays without no worries whatsoever. Very good. You want me to give you a medal? I was sitting here a while ago thinking about Jenkins. I've never seen a man that makes a mistake that doesn't think about his past. I kind of feel sorry for him, but he could be here with us. Now I think he's behind bars, not enjoying nothing. His future is not so bright, and he'll think about here, no doubt in my mind. I'm sure his children would enjoy it very much today.